So there's a difference between avatar and the divine spark.
You said a divine spark, for your information, is the God essence in each of us, without which we cannot manifest on earth as human beings.
Yes.
But divine sparks are of various degrees in their levels of spiritual development.
Yes.
The divine spark of Chief Awolowo is not of the ordinary type.
Yes.
How do you mean?
What I mean is that it's somebody who has come to the world several times without you knowing, but only himself knowing. The God that brought him to life, we know what type of person he is. Yes.
You said Obafemi Awolowo belongs to those few sparks who are referred to as the salt of the world.
Salt of the world, yes.
And the gem of heaven.
Yes.
Chief Omoleye, explain.
What I mean there is, somebody who has incarnated several times and is coming to the world again, keeping a bit of the knowledge of past incarnations. He is actually a superhuman being.
A superhuman being?
Yes.
The Awolowo that came to earth came as a superhuman being.
Yes.
What made him super?
From the early problems he had and how he faced them.
You wrote a dialogue here, a conversation between God and divine spark. God is speaking now. He says, divine spark, speak. So divine spark speaks. My lad, I volunteer to go to the word and work on your behalf to change the lot of mankind, with particular reference to a place called Nigeria.
That's Awolowo.
So Awolowo is the divine spark speaking to God.
Yes.
He continues, if I am permitted to go, I shall introduce new things, make life comfortable for the masses, and transform the country into an organized society, which you shall be proud of. Did you create this conversation on your own? No,
you don't create this. Once you get to a certain stage in life, as an occultist, you are inspired by what's coming from above, and you speak it out, and it becomes law.
So this was the conversation between God and Awolowo.
Yes.
Before he was born.
Yes, and I could transfer myself back to that period and listen to such a conversation.
How can you do that?
You can see, those who are writers and somebody like you, who can go back to ancient of times. After all, this prayer, it says world without end. If you say world without end, then there must be a world in the past. And there was a world now. And there will still be more worlds in front of you.
In the conversation between the divine spark, Awolowo, and God, Awo says, my Lord, it is not going to be my first experience. I mean, Awo had come before. So when he came before, he came as what?
He came, I don't know what name he had. He has come before that time, this time.
And this time he is coming again. And Awo says to God, one thing I ask of thee, is to ensoul my etheric body
Uh-huh.
and make it impenetrable.
Uh-huh.
Can you explain that?
Penetrable. When you want to kill people, you penetrate the body, the etheric body.
Mm-hmm.
We have etheric body on this level now.
Mm-hmm.
Then if it is impenetrable, you cannot do him anything. But if it is not, there's nothing you cannot do.
Could that be the reason? Okay, before I ask that question, at some point in this conversation, God brought in Oduduwa,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
And Oduduwa speaks. Wherever he goes in life, there I shall be with him. That's Oduduwa is saying, wherever Awolowo goes in life,
Yes, you follow him.
he will follow him.
Yes.
He is going to assist me in my unfinished business. Whoever shall be his enemy shall be my enemy. The four corners of the word shall not produce any harmony in such enemies, and they shall always end up in ruins. He shall have a wife who will be like a mother to him. This Oduduwa, speaking of Awolowo, and after this Awolowo was born in 1909.
Yes.
Look at this line.
Yeah.
The four corners of the world shall not produce any harmony in such enemies, and they shall always end up in ruins. Can we relate this to what happened between Awolowo and Ladoke Akintola?
I don't know much anything about Ladoke.
You know, Ladoke was killed in the first military coup.
Yes. I don't know anything about him.
But remember, he became
Probably.
Awolowo's number one enemy.
Yes.
Did he end up in ruin?
See, that is true.
He did?
Yes.
Could that be likened to the work of God and Oduduwa?
Most likely.
Did you say most likely?
Yes.
You were a journalist during that time,
Yes.
in the 1960s,
Yes.
when that struggle
Yes.
between Awolowo and Akintola started. At that time, were you already a Kabbalist?
I was. I started since 1962.
Now, why that fight in the Western region was taking place? What did you see as a journalist?
Well, fighting for positions and earthly things. You know, you brought one book written by one boy here. I don't know whether he is. I phoned you way after the program, but I asked the boy to come and see me. He didn't come. You know, there was a tussle between Chief Awolowo's wife and Chief Akintola's wife over this commission on the Pepsi or Coca-Cola. That the wife of Chief Akintola wanted the wife of Chief Awolowo to concede to her, which I learned was refused. That was part of it. Yes, that was part of it. Fight for position, fight for money.
Was there any spiritual battle between both sides at that time?
There was. We just assumed that there was.
Why do you assume?
Well, it's a question of interest. If somebody is interested in something and somebody says you won't have it, then you assume there's an interest somewhere.